coming to you live from an upload speed of 1.17 megabytes per second. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day and welcome to episode 262 of the Destiny Down Under vlogcast. As per every fucking week, I'm Log Power Slave, joined by the mustachioed legend. I don't know. I don't want to oversell you. Pretty good though.
No, listen here. Last time. Oh no, I wasn't on last time because we did a special event for
the special. Yeah, that feels like forever ago already.
Like, does that not feel like it was? Yeah, it feels still like this week. Wait, what was last week?
It was last week.
What? Where are we? What fucking day is it?
I don't know. I know tomorrow's Father's Day, so I'm working on a fucking hangover. So
yeah, listen.
We'll do that.
Last time we did a regular Saturday, you got angry hype Matt, and tonight, you got sleepy Matt. I don't think if anyone's ever seen sleepy Matt because I don't think I've ever been sleepy on stream.
It's fine. It's fine. I think we'll cope. We'll get through it.
We'll manage to.
You got a coffee? You got anything in the coffee?
Well, I already had my apple martini.
That's why you got them you got them in the wrong order, man. That's why you're fucking feeling flat. You got to go the coffee before the martini, man, or it'll just. I don't know. You're kind of either way. Who cares? Hey. All right. Well, let's fucking crack on into it because we made the rule. We're not doing passing. This will cut off. This will die. Someone will yank the internet cable like it's fucking Crota in 2015.
How is the stubbies going?
I haven't done it yet. We've got to do it.
Are we rolling in money yet?
Yeah,
what the
No, we're not rich yet. Sorry. Well, I'll make us rich, Papa. I'm sorry. I'm letting the team down.
Come on. People are literally asking for it.
I know. People are making their own bootleg ones, which I don't know. I find it more amusing than
what will happen is everyone will, as a joke, make their own stubby holders, and by the time we get around to making it,
by the time we make them, everyone will be like,
we've already got our own.
Why the fuck would I want a proper one? Anyway, we'll get there. I promise. We'll make other shit as well. I don't know. What other garbage DDU merch can we make? Beach towels. Like any of you fuckers go to the beach anyway.
You know what we need? We need trucker caps.
Trucker caps.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing that's synonymous with the DDU, it's trucking. Long haul trips. It is. We genuinely do get a lot of messages from people who are like, fucking, listen to this while I'm, driving my commute to work or whatever. So fucking, if you listen to that.
I don't know if it's still a thing, but they were pretty. I don't know if it's just Western Australia, but they're pretty big here. Like
trucker caps were kind of big here like a decade ago. So when were they cool in Western Australia?
I mean, if I was finding out about them, it was probably a decade before I found out. I like them. Like they're more beachy. They call them trucker caps, but they're really here. They're more synonymous with going to the beach, to be honest.
Yeah, true, because they've got the mesh on them.
Because you can have wet hair with them. Yeah, especially your bloody locks, mate.
Yeah, I know. I've got to do something. It's getting out of control. It's outrageous. I'm going to just continue ignoring it. I think that's my strategy. I'll end up looking like Grug. Anyway, 90% of the audience won't understand who Grug is because I'm pretty sure it's an Australian book. So get fucked. It's up there with the Nutbush.
I used to love Grug.
Sick book. Sick book.
I remember as a kid, that's the only book I got out from the library in primary school. Just Grug, different Grugs.
Yeah, just a dude with a whopping big nose and long dark hair. When I had dreads back in the day, it was it was hard to argue the Grug.
I mean, hold on, we could probably steal Grug, put that on a t-shirt, DD logo.
Just
who would I look like?
Who do you look like? Jesus.
Do we have
you used to look like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it's kind of hard now. I mean, any kind of seedy detective wearing aviators with a mustache is probably you. But I don't know. Maybe that could be everyone's homework for the week. Is they've got to send us in who is Matt a doppelganger for, so we can steal their likeness and put it on merchandise. Because I'm definitely Grug. Cartoon character. We need a cartoon character. Right. So anyway, how's your week been, Cobber? You've had a busy week. I know this, but for the benefit of everyone listening, wherever the fuck they're listening, let's fucking relive it.
Yeah. What did I do? I mean, we obviously had King's Fall. And then I probably played too much King's Fall this week, which put me way behind on doing videos, which is why I worked at 10 o'clock last night and then also this morning to do fucking
just working
YouTube
on the
videos. Yeah. And the thing is, when you get behind on YouTube edits, then you have to do the editing yourself because you can't send it to the editor because it's too late now by the time it gets here and comes back. And you're like, oh.
Yeah,
got to edit my own videos now too. Then it snowballs.
Oh, I have to do the hard work again.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not joking with you. I'm fucking. You put in many years of staying up real late and doing everything, and you get to a point where you get a little bit of money, and you're just like, I don't want to fucking do this shit stuff anymore. I want to pay someone else to do it.
I think that's growth, Matt. I think that's growth.
Every business,
Your focus is better served elsewhere.
But sometimes you got to get on the tools, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get on the tools. You know, plumber, you could have all these fucking subcontractors
Tradies,
and shit. They all call in sick. He's in there with the plunger, dealing with shit. So just be thankful that it's just editing videos and not fucking getting turds out of pipes because I reckon that'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Just to quickly call it, Brandonius has won. You are Yosemite Sam, 100%. There really isn't an argument.
I mean, I do like yelling a lot.
It's basically perfect. If he wasn't a cowboy archetype, if he was Australian, it would be you.
If he was Australian, 100%.
So Wednesday night, you did your sponsored stream. You did the Fortnite
collab as well,
crossover. How did that go?
Yeah.
I know how it went.
I honestly is in probably one of the top streams I've done, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's up there with the solo ad, the solo sponsor.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And you know, it's funny how all my favorite streams are sponsor streams. I don't know. I guess I feel even more pressure to perform. Yeah, you go all out a bit. Yeah,
you're that kind of dude. When you're in the shit or get off the crapper mode, right? You shit. You shit strong.
Big time. Yeah.
Probably the worst analogy of all time. Yeah, but anyway.
And I think, I mean, obviously what made it was Brody, which they got another streamer that had never played Destiny. And I think mostly has variety, but is very familiar with Fortnite. So he showed me Fortnite and I showed him Destiny. And took him into a dungeon. And like he's like a parallel universe of me if I ended up in the Fortnite directory.
Yeah, you and him are fucking Wario and Waluigi.
He's even probably a little bit more manic than I am.
He's way more. He's got you covered. He's got
yeah. And it was funny because obviously he hit all the traps and there was a lot of really good banter and it was fucking pure entertainment and that made me really happy. It was straight up watchable. I call it. I was, I was going to jump on and stream, but then I jumped in and listened, and I heard his voice, and I thought, "Fuck, this bloke sounds so much like Chook. It's ridiculous." Yeah. And I sent a message to Chook. I'm like, "Matt's playing with your fucking illegitimate son. You need to watch this." And he put the stream on with speakers, and his wife heard the thing, and she turned around and goes, "Did you just say something?" So really.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't know if that's a fucking positive for Brody or not, but it was just piss funny. It was probably the funniest stream I've ever sat and watched, and there was probably about 6 or 7 of us all sitting in a Discord just watching it. Just your glee at just fucking him over repeatedly with all the traps in Grasp was just like. It was unfair, and then to be fair, he absolutely skinned you back in Fortnite. I think the ledger ended up square. So a lot of good fun. Yeah. Good fun had by all.
But the first game in Fortnite, he takes me into some like build mode where there's no other people, and starts making call outs and gets me to rush his building, and I'm running around. He's like, they're in there. I'm running.
And you're like, wait. Nah, you were just in there by yourself. You twit.
Yeah.
No, it's good. And it's, it's nice to see people who are, encountering Destiny for the first time. I don't know. I mean, obviously he's not going to say that he didn't enjoy it on a sponsored stream, but you can kind of tell whether people are enjoying it or going along for the motions, and he's played it for heaps longer than you were meant to and all that sort of stuff. So it's just cool to see people experience it for what it is.
Like, I think if you can give people that hook on the dungeon stuff, it's like you got him. Like he said, as soon as we had failed a couple of times that I could see we could pass it, I didn't want to leave until we got it. And he was actually playing pretty well considering he had fuck all.
Yeah, like with weapons. No experience to go in and two-man. What's his name? Frazier, the big ogre.
Yeah, the big ogre, yeah.
Like, fair enough and fair play to him. Like, the dude's clearly a gamer. So he's got that going for him. But, Destiny's kind of impenetrable to new players in that sense. There's so much to learn and all of that. It was pretty cool to see someone, if you're gonna introduce someone to Destiny, Matt's done the hard work for you. Take him into a dungeon, right? Like, he's figured it out. Yeah. That's the recipe, because it's sort of Destiny condensed into its coolest form in a manageable fucking 3-person encounter, right? Go and do it. If that's if you got new friends checking it out, go and do that.
And this was the level of like loose cannon he was as well. So we got 20 codes. We got 20 fucking codes for the whatever. What's it called? Scientisha.
Yeah, I didn't catch
Illuminati, whatever it is, whatever the emblem is, which is people are already selling them for 700 or something on eBay.
I mean, that's Destiny emblem hoarders, isn't it?
When we were in the pre-chat, I was like, I'll do a raffle every fucking hour, give away 5, and 4 hours we'll have them all done. He's like, I'm just gonna dump one in chat, and I was like, I don't know if you understand the level.
I know that Aura was going through trying to grab one out of his chat before he ended up eventually winning one in yours, which made him very happy and all of us.
Oh yeah, he did with one.
Was saying it was fucking rigged, but of course you can't rig a marbles race. That's just beyond doubt. But he was like, they were gone within a second. So I don't know, like instantly gone. No, it was instantly gone. So someone even quicker than Aura on the clicks was fucking sorting it out. So fuck, in demand. You know what Destiny emblem shit's like. I remember the faint drift shit. That was great last time because I just used it to pad my viewership for fucking months.
Hey, I saw Felicia hooked me up. I saw people going, I've got one emblem to give away. I had 40 emblems total.
I bet you didn't even keep one for yourself, did you?
You know what? I had a crack at Felicia for not. I was like, "Oh, you never give me one." She's like, "Yes, I did." She found DMs that she actually gives me like an individual code. So I was wrong there, but don't tell her that. And
just on
and then she's like, "Here's your emblem too, right?" And we're doing top 10 in marbles, and the dude was like right on the line and get picked by the fire. So I was like,
"Okay, yeah, you were a good bloke, and you gave him that."
I gave mine, but then. When we did the Fortnite thing, Felicia's like co-worker was like, "Oh, we got some more." And I was like, "Oh, interesting. Do you have one for me too?"
For being a good bloke, do you get another one? No, sadly.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, honestly, the emblem fucking community is just rabid. People are so rabid over it. I don't get it. I think I gave away my faint drift, so I didn't even think about it. I don't. It's not black, so it's not edgy enough for me. So. There you go. Someone else can have it. So the thing that we didn't get to talk about last week because we did the mammoth, showcase review and then talking to Chris Proctor and all of that cool stuff, which was, very fun, very cool to do. And, to have him on was, I think probably the high watermark for whatever this shit show we've been dragging people through for a few years now is. We didn't get to talk about our impressions of Arc 3.0 at all or the current season. So I think we can dive into that a little bit tonight, blast through some ideas and some takes and even give some hot takes on Kingsfall. Not that I've fucking had all that much joy with it. The War Priest just kicks the living shit out of me every time I get there.
Yeah, I got strategy. I got strats for that now. I know how we need to do it.
There you go. There's always one. There's always a strat that rises to the top over a week or so. So I'll just do my job. And I went out and ground out that what's the new craftable linear fusion. It's
Pipeline.
Yeah, I went out and did that.
Well, not new, but like quest wise, right?
Yeah, you can
or
go
is it new? or it is new crafting, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know that you could
craft it. It's an old gun, but new to crafting, I think.
Yeah, and you can put firing line
I need to finish
and triple tap on it, and it's just apparently stupid. So I'll be crutching that. That'll be my... I might do that
because it has that Viced Origin trait that can like reload it.
Yeah, it's pretty broken. So we'll see how that goes. That should help old Boomer Power Slave fucking get through the activity. How have you found King's Fall? Just quickly.
I've been really enjoying it. We obviously had a bit of trouble with the Log Power Slave family.
Yeah,
but
look.
But I've actually done it a fair few times without you guys. So
yeah, look, we as a group, we set the bar low and then we act like it's fucking limbo, right? Like we just find a way to like disappoint ourselves.
No, even honestly, I hadn't, when I did it with you guys, I hadn't had much experience with the knights in War Priests and getting the brand and swapping it over and how quick that needs to be. And I have a feeling I might have been on my Warlock too, so I was a bit slower. So
it's your fault. That's fine. That's what I heard out of that.
Yeah. You can't really fuck around with those knights, and there's definitely better ways of doing it than what we had set up, I think. I don't think we really... You know what? I blame Aura. He was in one of those moods where he was tired. He was tired.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to go...
He didn't feel like carrying. He didn't feel like carrying, and he didn't feel like explaining.
Yeah.
And that's a disaster.
He was quiet and grumpy. And normally he's knowledgeable and loud, so whatever.
And we didn't have Sassy there too, so and this is what I always fucking yell at people in chat for. You know who you are. It's the Auras, it's the Sassies, it's the Sutex, right? You cap our skill level because you do all the hard shits without explaining what you're doing. And then once you're gone, no one can fucking do it anymore. Okay?
That's true.
Stop being so good.
Stop being so good. Stop dragging us through things that we don't deserve. We need to learn on ourselves and stop being garbage.
Exactly. Yep.
God damn, it sucks having highly skilled
Anyway,
friends.
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's actually they did a really good job remastering it. Like the aesthetics wise, it looks fantastic. Yep. The new mechanics, it's this got to go fast stuff. I want more contest mode. I think you could run builds in contest mode completely fine. I don't know, this whole discussion about too much resistance and you're unkillable. It's sort of like, but the fail mechanic is really just like the mechanics of the raid, not necessarily dying. Yeah. So, I think you can go either way there. Like,
I think the one thing
die a little bit more, not just to like white mechanics, but.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you consider us sort of floundering at War Priest, it was never that we completely fucking got wiped, right? It was just that we ran out of totems because we weren't doing the big pole bloody things that you hide behind are called. We ran out of them because we weren't doing enough DPS. Yeah. And, like, we've got no excuse for that, really. We just needed to sort our shit out. But that, I think, strategy-wise is... I don't know. I mean, look, it is a very, very survivable in my, like, that wasn't our issue. It was just pure DPS. So, you can kind of stand most places there and you're pretty safe. And and to springboard back to a point that we were talking about a couple of weeks back, the ad density kind of hasn't really changed from OG King's Fall either. So it doesn't feel overbearing, really. It feels probably kind of light on by D2 standards, at least modern D2 standards. So
here's the thing is like they can't really. How do they make? They have to make you a little bit more squishy because the thing is with any of the new subclass 3.0, you can't just add more enemies because everything's just like ad clear, like solar.
Yeah, you can just zap the fuck out of them anyway.
It doesn't matter. So it's sort of like. I don't know how you design stuff around the new subclasses now to not just make white mechanics like the actual raid mechanics and actually force maybe people to wipe to enemies.
I don't know, but I don't think that, I don't know, maybe this is just my opinion, and I mean, almost certainly is, but I don't think that is the thing with a raid is the puzzle.
Like work out the puzzle.
Always the puzzle. And it should always be the puzzle. Like, unless something is a bespoke encounter designed where it's like, okay, here you need to hold an area or something, and it's all about being overwhelmed, and that's the task. I don't get pissed off that I'm like, the part that the pass fail of it is always going to be doing the mechanics.
I don't know either. And to be honest, totems sort of felt like a good balance of that, because when you were by yourself, you could get overrun.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah,
and you didn't have the right weapons on, you could get taken out. But also, it was very much everyone had to be on point.
Yeah,
and
your communication and your timing needs to be
I do like
but
that.
That's the thing. Like that's the part of it that I also think is like that's the dopamine satisfying part of it. Like when we get this now and we click it and we're doing the thing and all of that. It's never like you never get that from just like I'm thunderlording fucking shit into oblivion because there's so many enemies around. I mean, it feels good, but not quite in the same way. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have an issue with it, but I do think that there's a strong case being made for, like some kind of toggleable contest mode to be around all the time. And I think that some way to make the game harder for yourself, like the old, I don't know what it was called. Someone tweeted me about it because I was like, we need an item where you can just dock yourself a fucking power level so you can go in and experience things at a harder difficulty. And I know that people will be like, well, what's the reward? But maybe just being good at the game and being able to do this shit is its own reward. There doesn't need to be a bespoke fucking reward for everything. So
I honestly think the same, and
just as a training aid.
I left contest and I was like, I really wish that I could go back in with my team after some rest, just practice.
Yep.
Like I for me, it's very much aspirational stuff to have a slick team like that, and you don't really get any other opportunity to perform at that level of difficulty.
Yeah, and the thing with that level of difficulty too is that you can't do the thing that we're like that we were talking about earlier with Sasanora and that, where you can't just sit in someone's back pocket. You need to be doing your fucking job or things are going to fall apart. And like, to be fair, like we got up to War Priest under contest and that was where it stopped. And when you look at the statistics in the TWAB this week, it seems to be pretty fucking like half of the people who tried the raid nearly got up to that point and then it was like a brick wall. So like, I don't feel bad about that, but at the same time, like I would love to be able to go back and be like, okay, I understand this a bit better now. I'm going to go back and like, I don't want the fucking day one emblem or any of that shit. I just want the ability to do it. That's it. Like, I don't care about any of this stuff. I just want to be able to go, all right, I know that I am at the level that I can do this now. And I think that Destiny would thrive with more of that. I want to see, I want to see people like aggressively docking their light level and fucking like the most ridiculous low power level completions of things, right? 2-man half power level, like fuck, I don't know, like Salter and all those dudes that are like destroying the world's first fucking race back to back now. Imagine what they'd do if they could actually like toggle the game and make it that difficult for themselves, and where they'd end up. They'd be, I just think it's even more superhuman.
Like contest mode, and the same with what they did with the Legend campaign. It's like your builds were still viable, but it was still super hard, and I think that's a big. I'm motivated to go play other aspects. Like I'm motivated to go get a Taipan because DPS was an issue for us.
Yep.
And I was like, I really do wish I had a better DPS weapon.
Yeah.
And not even better. Like this is when I actually feel like god tier weapons makes a difference between pass and fail when you start doing like contest mode. And I don't really think other parts of the game, I don't even think Grandmasters really challenge you on that. You can get through on persistence, whereas contest mode raids like just juices your build. Like if you're not running it right, then
I think the difference in all out damage in a raid is not what it is in a GM. Like you can melt a boss in a GM with 3 people. Like if you think it through, right? And they're designed that way. Some harder than others, like Lake of Shadows is pretty fucking piss easy if you get to the end of it and you know what you're doing. But I agree, and I think that like it incentivizes that chase to be able to jump back in and do the harder content. I'm like I didn't necessarily like agree with it as much in the past as I do right now. Like it has definitely bitten me. So I would love to see them make a decision.
Yeah, it's bitten me too, and it's taken I felt similar after Val, but I don't know what it was about King's Fall that
I think it's a bit of familiarity.
Maybe it was that. Maybe it was just all the hype around Lightfall as well, and just sort of like
it's true.
Yeah,
it's a big week.
I guess getting excited about the future of Destiny, because I think when you have a future that you're like excited for, it makes you want to invest in the game more. And then what happens is you get presented with a really hard challenge, and then you're like, well, I'm excited for the future, so I'm going to invest in the game. So I actually want to get better at this challenging content. Whereas if you're not really excited for anything, you're like,
why would I give a fuck?
Sort of failed contest mode. Because like I said, I think I want to use contest mode as a training tool. Like a good example was, Watts was running around and as a fucking hunter with Assassin's Cowl, literally just fucking punching as you running double specials. And although that's a nice build, I wouldn't have gone in with the melee only build on a hunter, not using Liar's Handshake in contest mode, because I would have thought I would get slapped. And it was completely viable. And I think that contest, having access to it allows you to go in and
do you think maybe
test builds?
Yeah, and I think maybe that's the other side of the coin, is that do you think maybe to an extent Bungie deliberately choosing not to give us that because people would absolutely sharpen the blade on it, and it would, I don't think it's
it's already pretty fucking sharp.
Yeah, that was the follow-up statement, because there's some absolute fucking monsters doing PvE.
It's pretty sharp.
It's the sword logic is fucking strong with them. So, but it would help us, right? The average punter to be more prepared for a raid race, and I don't know, maybe it would. I definitely think it would.
I think it would, because stuff. One of the things I think now is almost required is Aeon's fucking producing heavy ammo. You could go back. I would like to go back into contest and have a dedicated ammo producer.
It's your job. You do it.
That's your fucking job. You're making ammo
and a fucking div, and you right. I really got to go get div. That'd be a good job for me, because it's hard to fuck up, right? All I've got to do is stand still and shoot the.
Well, you do gotta you gotta pump it a little bit.
I know, but I'm being facetious. It's fine. There'd be excuse for my
damage numbers would definitely go up having you fucking off the DPS.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Div. I don't know. So that's the thing, right? I was shitty about the first couple of runs we did at contest, because I'm like, what the fuck is my damage is shit. And then I sort of worked at it and just changed the way I thought about it, because it's not something that I'm doing all the time. I don't raid all that much, so I'm not that concerned about it. So I, did a bit of work and then went, nah, fuck this, and went and got that Taipan, and that'll be my, I'll give that a go and see if it makes a difference. Maybe it is just me. Maybe I'm just suboptimal. Who knows? We'll find out one way or another. But I think that the kick on of a raid making me want to go and seek other guns to be able to really push myself further in it. I would love to be able to jump back in and do see how far I got under contest once I'd figured out everything I needed and went and put the pieces together.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the big carrot. Now it's you can turn up and just kick old mate's teeth in, because it's not the same fucking raid it was on Wednesday, right? Or fucking Saturday for us or whatever. So anyway.
And you know what? It feels like contest mode is, when Bungie made Halo and they're like, what's the difficulty they recommended that you play it on? What it's designed for?
I think
it
was heroic was where it was designed, but legendary is the top one. I don't know.
Okay, so whatever the second top one is, right? Is that called heroic?
Yeah, it's the middle of the road.
Yeah, so it's almost like that. That's what contest mode actually feels like for raids, is how it's meant to be played.
Yeah,
and then it gets turned on to easy mode.
I'm trying to think of the tweet that I saw, who tweeted it, but the other idea that I saw floating around is people asking for just a fuck off brutal version of the raid, that they're we want a version of the raid that no one can finish. just to people and not in that it's completely impossible, but just that it is brutally difficult, just so that it is and even a step above that.
Yeah, like what? Yeah, like that. What Halo 2 on fucking
yeah, like fucking lasso runs or whatever.
Lasso.
Yeah, just I don't know that you'd need to be like fucking invisible or whatever, because I imagine that would be an absolute nightmare if you're in a fight team of people you couldn't actually see trying to coordinate things. But I don't know. Maybe it's just a light level advantage, or who knows. But I think like the community definitely has the thirst for that sort of stuff now, and I'm glad to see people talking about it. I think it's cool. I want to see what comes of it. So it's cool. Right,
Yeah,
what else has happened? Skill-based matchmaking came in and everyone was happy, except everyone wasn't happy and it was bad and everyone had a bad connection and now everyone's miserable. So I don't know. Have you played any PvP? You're not really the PvP dude.
I played PvP and I was winning and I was like, what the I actually was like, what the fuck is going on?
What's going on here?
Like I was on the top of the leaderboard multiple times in a row. I was like, what the I was like, yo, I'm going good. I'm gonna play more.
Yeah, so we're clearly on one side of the fucking the fucking bell curve. We're on the underside of the penis bell curve.
We're in the negative numbers.
Yeah, we're in the like ball sack region. Really, that's where we are. And then up on top of the penis bell curve, where the pubes are, that's where all the sweat lords are sitting, and their games are completely fucked. And like, look, I stir shit on Twitter, but I understand people's issue with it, and like the fact that games are so destroyed. The integrity of the games is gone because of the connection, not because of like people don't want to play against people of their own skill or whatever. That bothers me. So I do hope that, there's a big write-up in the TWAB. We're not going to go through it word for word because it's just, you don't need us to repeat what's already been said. But I do hope that this is like aiming towards something. And I'm starting to feel like maybe this is a big broad-scale test towards them implementing something else that comes after with
competitive rework.
Yeah, like something that actually ranks people into different subcategories or what, I don't know, but like typical old school ranked, I would love to see that. But
I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is not just like a matchmaking issue to solve in Crucible. This is like a player population. This is like a loot reward. This is like maps. This is like a reasons to play. This is just like, and I just think that the results are still going to vary too much because the population health isn't there, and that's because there hasn't been enough PvP content.
True.
And it's like,
there's been no incentive for so long.
I guess the issues are even more exaggerated because of populations being low. Like, say for example, in Australia, where if you play off peak, and you have high skill, like you probably won't get games.
Who are you even playing? Like, thank fuck you're at like the
like I end up playing the same people.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day.
And you're in like the big fat part of the bell curve, right? Like I am, like about the 1 KD kind of like traders.
I honestly think that they need to focus on how to get people in there first, because matchmaking is people have already made the decision to play PvP.
Yeah.
Right. So there's the other big problem is like getting them to press play, and then once they're there, to have a good experience. That's what matchmaking's about,
and not to be cruelled by it. Like, because that's the part of it that I'm like, look, I'm on the fence because I totally get where, like, if PvP is what you do, and now there's an enormous chunk of that is now like by way of connection, basically fucked, and you can't do it. Like, that's bad, and it's unilaterally bad, and there's no way of trying to even sugarcoat it to say that it's not. But for someone who doesn't play PvP, and I know that like there are people who do not give a fuck about this, and it doesn't matter to them what other people's experience is, but for people who typically don't play PvP to come in and not get their teeth booted in and hang around and say, oh, hang on, like this wasn't so bad, maybe I can try this or do this, and they fucking gradually start working their way up in skill and find their footing in a game mode they've never touched previously. Like, that's super important because it does increase the player pool. there's fucking shitloads of people play this game that don't even dabble in PvP because they expect to get their head kicked in
there's
the second they go in.
There's too many options, I think. I think there's too many.
I think so too. And I think that like you load up that Crucible screen and there's Rumble. We don't need Rumble. I know that that's harsh, but we really don't need it. There's like whatever the rotator playlist is that I rarely ever do unless it's a fucking Triumph. We could probably do without that. I feel like ultimately I'd like to see a casual playlist that has no skill-based matchmaking and then something that's ranked that does. And I think that would be, and trials on a weekend. That would be fucking gold.
Yeah, I think that a lot of stuff should be rolled into one matchmake just to help boost population.
Yep.
You need to have more game, but you need to it needs to all come together. Like you need to have more game modes, more loot, more rewards, more rank ups. Then I completely agree. I think you need somewhere where you can casually play and goof around. Sometimes you get your head kicked in, sometimes you kick heads in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can put on whatever build you want. You don't have to be sweaty. And then when you want to get sweaty, you go into the sweat lord mode. You go in your ranked mode.
Or when you want to play people at your own skill, you go into a ranked mode, right? Like,
yeah.
So,
that's how every other. I just feel Bungie's tried to break the mold of what PvP is in games, and it honestly hasn't paid off. And I think there's nothing wrong with the casual and a ranked mode, and then
I mean maybe it's the if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of thing. And if we land a little bit harder on what was sort of already there, then maybe.
But with Rumble though, I do think you need I do think a free for all is probably one thing I would.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. You could roll that into, and I don't know how easy it is to manage it, like on the back end with people in fire teams and all that sort of shit. But if you had a casual game mode, right, like where it was sort of like, think, and to use Halo as an analogy, things like zombies or fucking whatever, or gun game in fucking Overwatch or whatever, right? More like non-focused, non-competitive game modes, right? Just more fun shit. And you have Rumble be one of them.
I agree.
Then, who cares if it's fucking 12 people Rumble? We've got massive maps. Just make sure it's on one of them. It's not going to matter all that much. So, I don't know. I can't help but feel like, if I wanted to gather a fucking enormous amount of data on the skill distribution and the way people play, I would put skill-based matchmaking in the one mode that everyone has to play for Pinnacles, and that's Control. Or, that most people will play for Pinnacles. So then you've got all the data, and then you can make decisions based on that, because it's, they've had it before, but I don't think they would do it. They were looking at it with a view to like how to improve it as drastically as they clearly are now. I've been in the first TWAB since the season launches. So I don't know. I don't have the answers.
There's so many factors, and it's like you can't even solve it with just pure data because it doesn't illustrate the nuance of player experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna let that like.
It was quite succinct. Now didn't need to add anything to the end of the sentence.
That finish with a resounding.
Just said it. ...
All right, moving on. Season of the Plunder activities: Catch Crash.
Yep.
The season. How are you feeling about that?
Expeditions, and then the recycled fucking content.
The fucking oh no, oh mate, when you're like, I don't know. This is.
I thought of a good tweet. Remind me. Tell your story. Then I'll tell you my tweet.
I was just going to say, when you see someone out in public do something really fucking embarrassing, and you're like, you cringe internally, kind of for them, and because you're just like, oh, how embarrassing, but also it's very amusing, and you can't not watch this person like fucking completely embarrassing themselves. To me, it feels like that. Like when it's like, oh no, they've reused this one space that was in a fucking lost sector that we paid for with old content, and now they've reused it and it's in content that's paid. Well, and then like get angry about it and miss half the facts in the argument and just fucking explode your load of disappointment on Twitter and shit. I'm just like, is that really the fucking issue? Like, is that Like, how are you that upset about, like, I'm not that upset about fucking anything in my life, to be honest. Maybe I'm just old and I've kind of settled into, like, fucking...
given up.
Yeah, I've given up. Or maybe I'm just experienced enough at life to know that sometimes things that aren't perfect happen. But, like, I'm just like, how is that where you're drawing the line? Like, how is that the thing, you know, like the, Bungie are lazy. I'm like... I would rather them reuse fucking spaces for shit that I'm only going to go through once. I wouldn't care if they were all the same cave.
Do it once too. Yeah, it's like do it fucking once.
It could be a fucking blank room. Go in here and shoot the dude and get the thing, and I probably still wouldn't even fucking care. So, whatever.
Do you remember we started a segment that was called something like "Rank My Tweet" or something with like unsent tweets from Log?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look, I'm not diving into them. There's been a few.
Here's me unsent tweet.
Here's your unsent tweet.
I did the boom. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. That's what I do my tweets.
Fucking, that is authentic. That could be discovered by future generations, Matt. That's a great call.
Because I don't know. I just didn't. I wouldn't have the idea. Write it down.
Yep.
And I just think, it's too long to go on a tweet, but it really does hit me in the soul. It's something like, "Hi there, Destiny content creator here. Just letting you all know, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are reserved for highly critical, non-relevant tweets that are controversial.
Yeah.
Tuesdays, I'll tweet about how I love the game. Thursdays, charity. Saturdays, positive kids." You fucking run that.
Yeah.
We run that loop every week.
Loop. It's the loop. Like, I don't know if it's just that the community's been around for that long that it's like people have just evolved to caricatures of humans. Like, but I see the same sort of tropes in people all the time. And like, to be totally fair to other people, I'm absolutely probably a trope, and that's completely fine. That's the way we see things. But like the ragey, Bungie, I hate Bungie and they're lazy and fucked and everything they do is bad, but also I'm addicted to this game and can't stop playing it and haven't stopped playing it for basically my entire adult life up to this point, and I don't have a social life beyond it. Like, just fucking go outside. Go and do something else for a while. It's not that hard. Just... Who knows? You might, go down the pub and have a beer. Like, you'll be fine.
There was so much time that I didn't really like Destiny, and I still made weekly lore videos, and I don't tweet about how much. I just didn't play the game. I literally for years read lore.
Yep.
And made lore videos.
I mean, we could probably like distill that to an actual window of this podcast, right? Like, there would be times that if you went back knowing now that Matt didn't play the game really at all, there's considerable periods. There's probably a year and a half there where like it was just me that was the linchpin to actually playing the game, which is terrifying when you think about it, because I'm fucking shit at it. But I mean, this podcast has always been a little bit more on the community side of things than the actual like.
You could probably go pinpoint when I started playing the game again from this podcast.
I absolutely can.
There was definitely like a point where I'm like, oh shit, Matt, that you know what he's talking about now.
Yeah, it's dungeons. For you, it is dungeons.
So yeah, it was.
That was it.
That's what got me into
prophecy.
100%.
So I don't know. I mean, there was what's the Shadowkeep one? It was after that, but I think it was actually when you went full time streaming and you didn't have your doctorate to fucking manage anymore, and you could be full time gamer boy. I think that was the point.
That's me, gamer boy.
All right, Arc 3.0. How are you finding it? How's your builds?
Well, I've only done Hunter. I've been for Arc, to be honest. And I've mainly done the Shinobu Vows. I haven't really played around with much else. The new super is fantastic. It's got some heat on it.
That's the unicorn, like throw your spear at something.
Yeah, throw your spear, Gathering Storm.
Yep.
The combination blow, like I said, Watts was using that in the raid, and that is powerful by itself. Like, no lies, handshake. Like, you can slap pretty hard with that as it is. So that's nice. And then Jolt, obviously, throw grenades and everything just fucking gets electrified.
Yeah,
I've been running like, because it's got 2 nades. I've been running like with a whore and then a demo. Salvos?
Oof.
Like,
yeah, right. Okay.
You shoot salvos, throw a grenade, it reloads. Get with a whore out, shoot a grenade, back to salvos.
Yeah, right.
Punch a couple of things.
So literally everything that you do is just grenades in one form or another now.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, way to specialize, dude. Go for it.
Grenade.
I've got the complete other end of the scale because everything, just punching, just absolutely punching. So I lent into, I made a Junies build that's like triple 100 stats. So 100 recovery, 100 resilience, and 100 strength. And it took me. You know what?
That's what you need to teach me next is build crafting stuff.
It's probably the one thing that I go okay at. But there's some tools and stuff that Sass showed me that are pretty good. I think
because I can't stand them.
Yeah, I know. But they make it very quick and easy. You'll get a lot out of it.
But I need you to smooth brain it down to my level.
Okay, I'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it after this even. I don't mind. But I've beta Junies build and I'm kind of like enjoying that and it's a lot of fun. But then I saw, and Nick sent it to me, a Mr. Fruit video where he's basically just running around with knockout, juggernaut, and a shotgun. I think he's got a wastelander with 1-2 punch. I don't know that you need that, but seismic fucking whatever the shoulder charge is called, and just sort of like sliding, running at people wildly, which is I'm a huge fan of. I'm a big W holder. I think that like not enough people hold W. I know that everyone criticizes people who hold W. Not enough people do it. Just run straight at someone. When you're kind of within shotgun range, take a shot while you're sliding, like slide in, take a shot, and then shoulder charge straight after it. And you just sort of like do enough to fucking like take their shields off and then shoulder charge them. And then you got to have the Daft Punk helmet on. What's it called? Fucking Skull Fort, Insurmountable Skull Fort. And you get your fucking thing back. And it's just endless. It's gross. It's like, it's gross in my hands, right? And I'm average. I can only imagine how terrifying it would be. Like, I also think that I suspect that maybe a bit of the skill basing has been brought in because they knew that in the wrong hands, or the right hands as it may be, this would be just disgraceful because it's so strong. It's just, you've always got your shoulder charge up and you can always basically completely shred someone. Because once you get your first kill, it's off an ability. You're amplified. And then you're running at everyone at twice the fucking speed you were before. It's fucking crazy,
dude. How good is getting amplified in Crucifix?
When they dropped the cranked 2 analogy in the fucking before the showcase, whatever it was, the sort of like rundown that we got of Arc 3.0, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm a crank 1 man if I had to choose, but I think it's apt. I think it's basically the perfect analogy for the way that feels because it is just berserk. Like you don't think about what you're doing after that. You're just basically running around like a chook with its head cut off.
You can flank. You can flank so quickly. You don't have to worry with the radar anymore, and you can just absolutely leg it to people, and then just slide.
Yeah.
Like with this,
and that's the thing.
Out.
Like you do that with you got your shotgun out, and you can just go boom and fucking. You're not trying to kill people with your shotgun. You're just trying to like hit them and take their shields off. And then instantly in the shoulder charge, bang, get fucked. You're evaporated, move on to the next person. And all you've spent is 1 shotgun shell because you instantly get your bloody thing back. You probably pick up you probably won't even do that. You just pick up their ammo. So I think it's taken a little bit of time, right, for people to really come out with I've seen some insane fucking PvE builds too. Like, what's the grenade, the ability empowering
the Stormnade one.
Yeah, the
Armamentarium.
Nah, not Armamentarium. The other one, the one that gives you like more powerful everything.
Oh, Innermost Light.
Yeah, Heart of Innermost Light. I think a lot of them are hinging on that, which it's not really surprising because given that just how insanely powerful it is. Yeah, so huge grenade damage coming out of that. So, look, I'm happy for people to be like.
I saw fucking Salt 3-man Rolk with Stormnades. 1 phase.
Just with grenades, without even shooting him.
There were a couple shots.
I mean, do you wonder where it ends? Like, that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm like, I mean, this is the last light subclass. It's fucking insane. They've all been insane in their own way, if I'm honest. Like,
man,
when we got Void 3.0, I was like, this chaining shit is fucking ridiculous. Like the Void detonators and all of that. It is ridiculous. Yeah. And then the hammers with incandescent and all of that sort of stuff in Solar I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. And now I've got Arc. It's fucking ridiculous. So I'm happy to be living life in, you know what's like not as good now to me? I have no interest in fucking stasis.
Everything else?
Stasis. I don't give a shit about stasis. It's
what? I've been thinking of going back to stasis just to see what the crowd control's like on it, because I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, how about the other thing
you can make like an infinite nade build for fucking hunters with it. You just basically keep pegging snow globes.
True. Just while we're on the subject of stasis, the one thing that Matt and I have discovered, like independently, but at the same time over the last few weeks, chill clip on a Riptide. I hate fusion rifles, but fuck me, I love that gun with chill clip on it. Give it to me.
I know. I was shown that, and I was surprised because I used to always delete chill clip, and I was like, "What's the point of chill clip?"
Yeah, no, it's the most chill perk of them all, and I agree with it. And I was the same. I reckon I've deleted fucking several god roll. I don't know, like I've seen it on the is it the what rocket launcher does it come on, and I'm like, I can't get my head around it.
I've never put it on a rocket launcher.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a rocket launcher perk because it'll just kill most things outright. But on a fusion, very strong. Yeah, so rock and roll. What else have we got to talk about? What else? Fucking what's happened in the lore? Actually, I've got no fucking idea. Like I mean, you know what I'm like paying attention to the story. I've kind of got the vague understanding that you know, we're trying to figure out what the fuck Aramis is doing. And Ido is cute.
Glad you asked. Tune in on Sunday night US time for a complete summary week 1 and week 2.
Oh, yes. We're getting the summaries back, are we? Nice.
Yeah, I did the whole...
This is what Matt's been working on in Wise fucking time.
Weekly fucking parody videos, and then I haven't done it since season 15.
Yeah, look, I bit off more than I can chew. Fucking 7 years ago, or however long it was.
So lore seems pretty simple at the moment. No like big overarching plot lines like we've seen previously, to be honest. You know, the main sort of, I guess, light versus dark saga plot line is that what is the witness revived Aramis to collect these dark relics, and that's all we really know. We do have a bit more lore on the relics, like in game from this season, which was essentially they were, you know, do you know One Piece?
Yes.
Dad, do you ever watch the anime One Piece?
No, I don't watch any animes.
Don't watch any. What about the memes?
I watched the manga. Manga. No, I watched Transformers and I thought like that was incredible. It's basically the best, and I thought I'd quit while I was ahead. That and Astro Boy. I don't watch Astro Boy as an adult because I find it incredibly depressing. I don't know why I just do.
Here's another viral tweet for you because I've got these down all day, but I just haven't. I'm so tired. Look, I've been up tweet.
Welcome to fatherhood. You get to celebrate it tomorrow. It's Father's Day in Australia tomorrow. Matt's going to have his first Father's Day in
Australia.
And you know what? The one thing you say, what do you want for Father's Day, Dad? Peace and fucking quiet, right?
Dude, I hear ya.
You know what you'll get? Hankies.
Hankies?
Yeah. Fucking hankies. Whatever they buy.
I don't have any hankies.
I mean, Leo's too young for this, but like they do the stalls at school where they like take a gold coin and they get like, I don't know, there's like something for everyone. And I don't know whether it's just my kids don't give a shit or what. They always bring home like there was one year my eldest brought home like a football cup, but it was a team I don't even like. She's just like, oh, well, there was nothing else. I'm like, okay. I guess I got what I deserve there. Anyway.
They're like little mirrors.
They are. Yeah, it's horrifying. It really is.
Yeah. So, what was I saying?
We're talking about the lore anyway.
Oh, okay. One Piece. Remember One Piece?
Yes. Yep. You got a blazing tweet.
Yeah. You know how they get their powers? One Piece eat the fruit.
No, but now I do. Thank you.
The devil fruit.
Okay.
Well, that's how the pirates get their powers, right? They eat the devil fruit. That's literally this season. These relics are from the Elixir pirate legend, and they originally thought that they gave you powers of the Traveler. Now, Ido has investigated them a bit more, and they emanate darkness. Ooh. So they weren't quite far off.
Yep.
And so these previous pirates would track them down and try to gain darkness powers. That's all we know, and that's why we're tracking them down, trying to get them away from Eramis. We don't know why the Witness wants them or anything like that, but there's a bit of lore about the old crews because they're sort of new to Destiny. They haven't been mentioned previously, and they gave us like a new era for the Elixir. So after their whirlwind, their collapse, and before they arrived here, they called it the Long Drift, essentially where all these pirate crews originated from because they didn't have a home planet. They had very limited resources, so they just essentially were pirating.
Became like a galactic seafaring pirate race for a while.
Yeah, called Long Drift. Yep. And the other main thing this season, obviously, Spider's return. We knew he was going to come back. Hey, here's a sneak peek. Here's an interesting topic for you.
Yep.
I think Bungie forgot about their Guardian Games lore.
What was their Guardian Games lore? Specifically about Spider, I believe.
Yeah. So in season, I think it was season of Lost, right? Whenever they got rid of the reef.
Yeah.
Do you remember they gave a little bit of like backstory sometimes of the vendors going and whatever?
Yep.
Spider had a lore entry, and because Marasov was after him, so Marasov came back, season Lost, and was all pissy at Spider for Crow, right?
Yeah, being horrible. And fair enough.
Yeah, and you had the in-game dialogue from the Astral Alignment that was like basically wanted to kill Spider.
Yep.
And then there was a lore entry, and Spider was like, to the Drifter, can you smuggle me out of the reef? Okay. And you would think that would then directly continue on to this season where the cargo was intercepted. The Drifter's cargo was intercepted.
Yep.
And turns out it was Spider, right?
Yeah.
Well, the most recent Guardian Games had lore, and Spider was already in the tower. He was already in the city.
So where do we go and rescue him from, and why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like that he was in that stupid thing, though.
Fucking pod.
He's trapped in his fucking pod.
So in Guardian Games, it was the bookie Prakesh, right? Because Guardian Games just takes the piss a bit, right?
Yeah, and accurately,
And the bookie was going around, and everyone was like, "No, we've already put the bets on."
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, well, he went to find out who it is.
Yeah.
And this wasn't just like a hint that it was Spider. It literally says, "Oh no, I got it off an Elixir in the Botsar district with porcupine friends." And the last entry was, "Oh, there was a card with a big black spider on it." So
it's kind of hard to refute.
I honestly, I reckon Dr. Bright's right. It got written, and it got shuffled around, and it got put in
forward. Yeah,
it got put forward. That is exactly what it reads like.
Yeah, and look, shit happens. Whatever. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of funny to sit here and be like, well, someone's like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone somewhere had this perfect continuity worked out, and then things got jumbled, and here we are. But look, I think closing comments on this season, I'm having fun with it. It's not going to change my life, but it's fun. It's just a season. And I think that I've seen enough out of it to be like, cool. But beyond that, it's just a season. It's just something to do. It's a background thing, I think, for me anyway. I'm like worried about the raid.
Seasons aren't. Yeah, like I tune in each week for the story, really.
Yep. Let's see where it goes. I don't think we're going to get any, as you said, any huge, soul-shattering plot revelations, but it feels like the fun, right? And then before we get into Lightfall, it's going to take a fucking turn. Oh,
I forgot the other part of the story.
What's that? You got a minute.
I mean, they've pretty much been heavily hinting that Mithrax has quite a dark past. We know he was a bit of a crusader back in the past and killed many guardians and that kind of stuff. And he's traded war stories with Saint. You know, I think they're probably going to give us a Mithrax monster story, like Saint got Saint the monster. Yeah, I think we're going to see a Mithrax monster story.
Yeah,
eat some babies or something.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, is that under the T for teen umbrella?
I don't know if that would fit under the
baby eating. It seems a stretch, Matty. Yeah, I mean that and like closing comment. The new ornament for Helm of Saint 14.
Yeah,
straight nightmare fuel.
Actually.
So maybe there's a tie in there. Maybe we're gonna like. That's very much how I imagined that the Fallen saw Saint 14 during his more volatile years. So, fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, you want to fuck off? You want to get out of here? We've done our hour, our court mandated hour. It's done.
Really?
Yeah, and it was easy. It was quick. Over and done with. There you go. Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
That was very painless.
Oh no. See? It's good.
You know, I could go a Coke right now. You got any Coke for me? A Coke.
A Coke.
A Coke, yeah.
I've got Diet Coke.
Do you have soft drink in your house, like just always, or?
Yeah. You want to know the weird thing about my house? I drink Diet Coke. My wife drinks Pepsi Max, and we never ever drink each other's fucking stash. You know what I mean? Because I don't like Pepsi Max. And Rach doesn't like Coke. So, there we go.
You know why I can't have soda pop in my house?
Because you drink it all.
Because when Solo sent me fucking 6 cartons of Solo, because that was the minimum requirement for a pallet. I was drinking 3 Solos a day.
And you're fucking scared you're going to give us your Beatus. He's got the Beatus, ladies and gentlemen. No more soft drink in there. Just drink the diet shit. It's got artificial sweeteners in it that are probably like, I don't know, filling me with microplastics or something. I don't know. But at least they're like not actual sugar. You can delude yourself into thinking it's better for you. Sure. All right. I think that's a wrap. We'll put a lid on it, put a bow on it, and fuck it off for this week. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. Maddie, any closing? Anything? Nah.
No, well, people literally keep asking for the stubby holders.
We're going to do it. I will do it. All right? I'll do it. I'll talk to Keg. I'll do it. Okay? I'm going to be classic log, or I'm not going to put a time frame on it, but I promise you that in a long enough fucking time continuum, it will happen, and you will be able to purchase a DDU stubby holder, and you can do whatever you want to it. I don't want to know about it, right? So you can put a drink in it. There you go. Okay. All right. Fucking rock and roll. See you next week. How tired are you?
I'm tired, cunt. Fucking end podcast.
All right, stand by for a raid. Spoiler alert, the raid is me. Bye.